Hey everyone, Renergy's back today. We're going to do a universal balance for shifting the crappy energy on the planet. Okay, let's see what happens.
I'm quick with that.
Yeah. It just feels like this energy's been going on for so long now, and occasionally it just, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming sometimes, so we thought we'd see what happens. So, what we want to do is tap into all the negativity, tap into all that weird energy on the planet, tap into the evil on the planet. Asking double anterior deltoid to show me if we're in. And hold. Yep, we're in. Okay. So asking this body to show us anything that can help to move and raise the vibration of all of that energy. Because negativity and evil, it's really dense, it's heavy energy. Okay, do we need to start with adrenal, survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival? Nope. Do we need to start with chakras, right? So throat chakra and base chakra are the two we start with. Okay. One of the big things going on is that it's unsafe to speak your truth in a lot of environments. It's hard to be able to formulate thoughts when you know that half of what you're thinking you can't actually verbalize. Yeah, right. You can feel that. That throat chakra isn't moving. The base chakra is shifting, but the throat chakra is really stuck. Okay, you might need some extra energy to, yeah, that's not moving. Okay, what do we need to do in here? ESR oscillation chakra, essence cranial chip is tuning, yeah. So we need a tuning fork combination to really help to shift that throat chakra energy. First one's governing. Governing meridian is about, it's the masculine energy, it's the doing energy, it's the controller, it's the power, it's the powerhouse. So everything we thought of about men 10,000 years ago, that's what the governing meridian is about. So, and what's the second point? Small intestine. Small intestines, when there's an imbalance with joy, with there's shock, there's sorrow, there's sadness. We're internalizing things. We're feeling unappreciated. There's narcissists out there that are controlling us. There's an overexcitement which can make your nervous system really active. So it's not a good overexcitement in this particular case. It's under. Feeling discouraged, feeling like we're not assimilating new information, and at the moment there's just so much new information out there all the time for people who are awake that it's really hard to stay on top of it without getting bogged down in the details and bogged down with negativity and anger and frustration at what's going on around us. So, okay, so anyway, governing and small intestines. Make that a fraction higher. Renergy's shirt says, "We power potential." Nice. Perfect. So governing and small intestine. Right. So it's when the energy forces that are out there are really manipulative, and then we feel very lonely. And a lot of the plan on the planet is to divide and conquer. The more you make people feel alone, the more in control you can be. So coral bean is the flower essence. Yeah, right. Okay. So what's happened in the last 3 years? This is about inability to recover from dangerous situations, lack of focus, dulling our survival instinct. So people, it's easier for people just to join the massive group mentality because it's just easier. But that dulls the survival instinct. It makes us less able to actually see it when we need to act and react, because we're not paying attention, because it's easier to go with the flow and do what everyone else is doing. So, oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Okay. So it's coral bean energy, which is a desert flower. Okay. Which levels do we need to do? Transmute, transform, transcend. We need to do it 3 times. Do we need to do it on we need to do the throat chakra? Do we need to do governing? Do we need to do, no, we don't need to do those meridians. And is there another chakra we need to do? Nope. Do we need to do figure eights? Okay, so we'll do throat chakra and figure eights. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively transform my inability to recover from dangerous situations, my lack of focus, and my dulling of the survival instinct into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively realign and renew my willpower, focus and concentration to be in touch with the inner wisdom that gives me optimism, confidence, and the ability to keep myself safe. That's perfect. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively transcend my inability to recover from dangerous situations, my lack of focus, and my dulling of the survival instinct into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively realign and renew my willpower, my focus, my concentration, to be in touch with the inner wisdom that gives me optimism, confidence, and the ability to keep myself safe. Thank you, Energy.
Throat chakra.
Absolutely. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively realign and renew my willpower, my focus, my concentration to be in touch with the inner wisdom that gives me optimism, confidence, and the ability to keep myself and my loved ones safe. Heavy. Was that just general overwhelming grief? Yeah. Huge. Okay. See where we need to go next. There's another layer we need to do on the throat chakra. For a start, we just need to do the lapilla movements, which is to do with the amygdala, linking in with our survival patterns. Yeah, so that's really a pain and punishment circuit that's holding us in that inability to speak, that inability to keep ourselves safe, or the belief that we can't keep ourselves safe. I was reminded that there's some really decent human beings on the planet working on positive energy. And the story I was told, and I haven't confirmed this yet, was that there's a particular monument in Washington that has a whole bunch of symbols on it that are quite satanic. And these 4 healers each did a process of releasing the evil from the world and sending it back to where it came from. And they did it for 10 minutes on this monument. And then the staircase or the elevator didn't work for 6 months.
To the monument.
So it shut it down so that people couldn't actually use that elevator for 6 months.
What exactly shut it down?
The energy.
Wow.
Is the concept, yeah.
10 minutes. That's all you need.
And I think, like, every time we're doing something to bring ourselves back into balance, to remind ourselves that we are sovereign, that we are in control, that we are safe, and our loved ones are safe, Because with your little bubbies, we need to, you know, because that's part of your mama lion stuff. Looking at the big picture and then seeing how crap things are going if they continue on the trajectory they're going.
100% future.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now our little heart chakra's shut down. So we'll stack in the heart chakra, the sternum. Yeah, and that's to do with the tears. When we can't let the tears go because of this, it internalizes as anger and frustration. Tears are really empowering.
How about when we talk about the world, like Mother Earth?
Yeah, yeah.
What's that?
Well, Mother Earth is amazing, so everything. And once again, it was reminded, like even though there's all this geoengineering and shenanigans going on, Mother Earth cleanses all the time. So we have these awful crap up in the sky, and the next day you can wake up and it's perfectly blue again. Like, how amazing is that? They have to keep on doing it over and over again. And same with our bodies. Everything that's been thrown at us, and we're still here, we're still going, and our human bodies are phenomenal. Yeah, so Mother Earth is about grounding. It's about giving us that strength, giving us that knowledge in our bones that everything's going to be okay. And Father Sun empowers us, so that Mother Earth, Father Sun energy helps to realign our central and governing meridians. What do we need to do with this little heart chakra? Yeah, so it's when that sadness, despondency hits, you know, the heart chakra just sort of closes down. Sadness, despondency, depression. And hold out. Well, it's not bad. But we want more serotonin, dopamine, feel-good hormones, oxytocin.
Small intestine.
You're feeling it? Yeah, right. Small intestine makes so many of those. Okay, little small intestine. Production of serotonin, melatonin, all those neurotransmitters. And then when we have parasites and things and full moons, there's always an increase in parasites in our bodies. And parasites can steal our neurotransmitters because they need fuel, they need food. So if there's not enough food for them to eat and they love a sweet acidic environment, they can nibble up our neurotransmitters.
2 of my kids had sore tummies this morning.
Yeah, right. Interesting. Was it full moon yesterday or today?
The day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So for you having that BioResearch WRM drops at home, they're really great. I don't know how the ASEA works on it, but you know, obviously the gel on their tummies. But yeah, the WRM, it's for, well, it's obviously for worming, but it helps with lots of different parasites. It's great for kids.
Should definitely have some every month.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because they can grow between 20 and 20,000 eggs per day. Different parasites. And I was listening to a chat this morning about cancer and things like sugar feeds it. They love an environment where there's no oxygen, and parasites often thrive in those areas with no oxygen in the body. Let's check this little heart chakra again. I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. I am happy, I am healthy, I am free. Okay. Now that, or centering? No. So we need to do a deep hidden survival pattern first. So we need to take away that thought that life's going to be stressful forever, because that'll just attract more of the same. Hold. Okay. Is there psychological reversal linked in with this? Yes, there is. want to need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust. Yeah, so there's a lack of safety. So it is, so your brain doesn't, our collective brain doesn't want to let go of the fact that we're trying to keep our dukes up and keep an eye on the stress coming, because it doesn't feel safe. And just because we're relaxed and calm doesn't mean we're not looking out for the next thing coming. So we can do the two simultaneously. It's just challenging. It is safe to let go of this problem. And hold. It is safer to keep this problem. And hold. Okay, so the brain is reversed to what it should be. Okay, so deep hidden survival. Yeah. So the first one is picking on itself for, so this part of the brain wants us to be perfect under stress. So it picks on ourselves when we're not perfect under stress. And hold out for me. Yeah, so the interior cingulate gyrus, and then it sets up a bunch of compulsions and addictions and things. So one of my friends, and I know she'll recognise this story, she could not do her work until things like her microwave were perfectly clean. So she would have these little compulsions, and once she had done that, she could get into her work.
This is me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never knew that about you. Oh, that's so funny.
This is just if I'm working at home.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
right.
get things done in my work mind at home. You know, I've got to have at least 2 loads done and,
Yeah, right.
dishes washed.
Oh, that's hilarious. And I only say that because I've been forever grateful that my work is people turning up and having appointments, because for that hour I'm working. So it's okay, there's a little reticular activating circuit. So that's the part in behind the brainstem. Mother Earth, Father, Son's brainstem. Which one? Yeah, right, so that's the serotonin point. Spleen 21. So too much, not enough. Yeah, so it's not enough serotonin. So once again, the vigilance, because of the lack of safety or feeling a lack of safety moving forward, the brain is shutting down the serotonin and creating vigilance in the nervous system quite deliberately. So it's doing that so we don't relax, have fun and be happy.
But it's trying to keep us safe.
It's trying to keep us safe.
Yeah. Toxic.
Because that's when the tiger pounces.
Yeah.
I had a client years and years and years and years ago, and she was a real hippie, and her daughter would come in and she would destroy the clinic, and she was so relaxed. She would just let her, and her daughter was maybe, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, something like that, smaller than Teddy, and she would just destroy everything. She was just so relaxed, she didn't even say anything. And afterwards I'd spend half an hour tidying up, whatever she... Oh, man.
I don't remember. That's fine. Was she at back at
No. This is probably 20 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
And she had this really interesting experience where she kept dreaming of a connection with the Cherokee Indians in the States, and she always felt like she was connected them spiritually or energetically or something. And when she was like 40, or maybe it was when her dad died, but she found out that there was actually a connection in the past. I can't remember what the connection was, but she sent me this message going, oh my gosh, look at this family history. Mm. Yeah, because I remember her talking about it. She always just felt it in her bones. There's another little reticular activating system circuit. Okay, so this one, these are points in this circuit for directing attention. So once again, in relation to focus and safety, your brain just wants to focus on what could possibly come in and create damage in our worlds. Yeah, and that's, okay, so even though this is within the heart chakra, for this though, that's specifically shutting down the throat chakra. Yeah, feel how jammed that is again. Again. Huh. Okay, I think I need to go deeper into the throat chakra. So the combo is, so it's about a lack of expression, it's hard to transcend energy, we lose our trust, we lose our awareness and communication, so we just get stuck and inhibited and hesitant. So it's throat, parietals, hyoid. So throat, the hyoid, and the parietal bones. And hold. Okay, is it first or third stage stress? And hold. Okay, so that's only first stage. And what do we need? Do we need the same tuning forks? Do we need a flower essence? We need a flower essence. Do we need bark, bush, bush? Okay, so 4-3 box 2. Sturt Desert Road. So Sturt Desert Road is about guilt. And everyone has guilt, but particularly as women and as daughters, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on quite specifically with that. And then as mums, of course, as well, we always want to be the best mum we can possibly be. 6 drops, okay. So once again, is this energy specifically, me specifically, energetically? No, this is energetic, okay. And is this real guilt, or is this guilt thrust upon us by all the... Okay, so it's guilt that's thrust upon us by all the energy on the planet at the moment. So there's so much going on where they want us to feel guilty about so many things. Okay. It's only 6 drops though. And maybe it's guilt about the words we're speaking, you know, when we're actually speaking our truth and someone doesn't understand. That will mess with us being able to speak our truth.
Yeah.
So if we're speaking to someone and they don't get it and we get abused for it, it doesn't make you want to say the same thing to the next person coming along. And there's so much going on where the division is quite deliberate. And it's continued to this day. But what an amazing awakening it's been for people the last few years. Like how many people are aware of things they weren't aware of 3 years ago. But it's heavy. It's heavy knowing. That's better.
Did you just hear my swallow this time?
Did you feel it?
Yeah, it made noise.
Yeah, right, nice. It's moving again. Okay, so now we're back into another RAS circuit. So once again, low serotonin. This one wants to, if you can just gently hold these little points either side of your nose, it's large intestine 20, and that one's about wanting to hide away. Run away, hide away. And that's often what this compulsive cleaning and stuff is about, you know, we're just doing, we're not thinking, we're just escaping our own thoughts. I choose to speak my truth. I choose to live in the real world. I choose to feel empowered. I choose to feel alive. I choose to be human. I choose to live my best life. choose to be me. Okay. So after calming down this fear, threat, danger, we're going to go check out the celestial circuit. Celestial circuit. Hold up. And hold. Okay, so it's only first stage stress. Is it on the feminine side? Is it on the masculine side? Okay. So because, and probably most of this is about empowering us when we're learning, when we get diving into all the deep stuff you're diving into and you're learning stuff and it's heavy, we have to keep on standing back into that masculine energy to re-empower ourselves, to give ourselves control.
Yes.
It's exhausting.
But sometimes we need it.
But sometimes we need it, absolutely. Power potential.
Just really thinking about chatting to Dan Doyle yesterday too.
Yeah?
That was cool.
What little key things did you pick up?
Sometimes you've got to be blunt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. It's not easy to be blunt.
I know, especially with the person like me.
Yeah, right. That's true.
But we were talking business, of course.
Yeah.
We had Amanda there as well, so she just ties things in beautifully with her
Nice.
energy.
Where's her little holiday?
Byron Bay.
Oh, nice. It's a hard life.
She was looking after some bunny rabbits.
Oh, that's right. It's illegal for us to have bunny rabbits here in Queensland. And hold. That's better. Hold. Beautiful. And hold. Excellent. Okay. Okay. But nonetheless, something about this little circuit is shutting down the pleasure reward centers. And once again, it's hard to feel happy and carefree and joyful when we know big stuff is going on planet-wise. You know, and I'm sure we don't know anywhere near the big picture that some people know. But even the little inkling can be a little bit scary sometimes. Reactivating our pleasure reward centers. Reactivating our feel-good centers. Reactivating our happy-go-lucky fun centers. It is fun being human. Okay. So those positive phrases just blew the base chakra again. So it's like the positivity, your brains, our collective brains are going, it's not safe. We're going to miss something. And hold. And hold. First stage, okay. So they're only little glitches, but they keep on glitching. And we can use those tuning forks from before. Should I do the affirmation again? Yeah.
She go, just tuning it up.
Tuning it up, that's right. Coral bean desert flower. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively transform, my inability to recover from dangerous situations, my lack of focus, and my dulling of the survival instinct into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly and supportively realign and renew my willpower, my focus and my concentration to be in touch with the inner wisdom that gives me optimism, confidence, and the ability to keep myself safe. I take responsibility for my attitudes and now choose to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively dissolve my inability to recover from dangerous situations, my lack of focus, and my dulling of the survival instinct into all-encompassing love. I make the commitment to kindly, gently, lovingly, and supportively realign and renew my willpower, focus, and concentration to be in touch with the inner wisdom that gives me optimism, confidence, and the ability to keep myself safe. $9.99, raise that vibration. $9.99. Beautiful. So in relation to the universal negative energy, the evil on the planet and the way that it's affecting our souls, our energy, our bodies, our minds, our biochemistry, our human spirit. Release any and all negative energy. We release any and all satanic energy. We release any and all energy that we have not given permission to be in our bodies. Okay. This one's the 8th chakra, the bottom of the feet. So I'll stack in the trio with it. So it is 8th, adrenal glands and ethmoid bones. And again, hold. Okay, so it's in 2nd stage stress. It's working, it's took us off, trying to keep itself balanced. Release any and all negative energy from my body. Release any and all satanic energy from my body. I release any and all nanotechnology that has no business being there.
Thing this week with my clients is wheat.
Yeah, right.
Losing peroneus muscle.
Yeah, right. Well, peroneus is about bladder energy, which is externalized fear and anxiety. So you can feel what the anxiety and fear is. There's been a lot of chemtrails this week too. Like that sky out there, I could see that coming a few days ago with everything they were pumping. I said to Teddy this morning, it almost looks real.
But then you have to feel it
see the wispy stuff, you know. That's why I love a beautiful blue sky.
Sometimes I wonder if the rain's real.
Yeah. It's
That's
been
hard.
very acidic lately. So, I mean, I've got some things to actually check the acidity of things. So next time this rain, I'll do it myself.
Rain this week.
Yeah, right. So there's some escape submission freeze in there around that as well. So when we're on our feet, you know, we're going to end up with feet problems if we're either standing into the earth, clawing ourselves down so that we're in fight, but also if we're halfway out the door all the time, it's going to put pressure on different muscles of the feet. And if energetically people are, you know, more on the celestial circuit to the left, the caring, nurturing stuff, or on the right, that masculine control power, if we're energetically out of position, that's going to make us bump ourselves, bruise ourselves, injure ourselves. It's like being pregnant out the side.
As well as the front.
Yeah. Okay, so once again, release of any and all negative energy. Release of any and all satanic energy. Release of any and all nanotechnology that has no business being in our body without permission. Releasing any and all heavy metals, toxicities, negative energies that are no longer serving us, for reaching our highest potential.
I was just thinking maybe you can have a dose of a sea after this balance.
Oh, good thinking. Yeah, absolutely. There's something else showing in the deep survival pattern. So it's a different one to before. Before it was hidden deep. This one's just deep, so it's there. The nervous system knows where it is. And it's stress and trauma because of the sixth sense, that sense that it's the knowing sense. And if you're watching Sanu, yep, I've got that one on my chart because of you. She said, what about the sixth sense? I went, oh, I'll write that on the chart. Okay, so this one's the orbitofrontal cortex, so it's about conflict. Should I, shouldn't I, hate and love, and will I, won't I? You know, all of that sort of stuff that ruminates in our head. So 2315. And this is the little part of the brain that's got a gyrus in underneath the logical and creative hemispheres. So it's waiting, so it's when we've got those thoughts in our head that we can't get out. And it's part of it is that the brain is trying to find a solution for things, and some things there's no solution. You know, some things just are. And we don't like them, and they just are. But our brain doesn't stop letting go of it because our brain's trying to find a logical, creative reason for things. Like the biggest thing in the last few years is, why would they do that? But they live on the planet too. But we have to remember we're dealing with sociopathic narcissists. They don't think like good human beings.
This will balance them too, yes.
Well, we've put all that negative energy in. I had a Reiki master years ago, Steve Martin, and he was just awesome. And he did a balance once. It was been the three people that he had in his balance were Bush Jr., so President Bush Jr., Saddam Hussein. There was a third person, I can't, maybe it was the UK Prime Minister at the time. But he did this balance with the big players with what was going on at the moment. And he just got all this real energy from each of them with the reason they were in that position at the time. and maybe it was David Cameron. Anyway, I can't remember. But he told me about this Reiki energy meditation he'd done, and it was just amazing, you know, just sort of what people can tap into when they focus. And that's why we can't give up hope. There's a lot of good people working on things.
Even though they don't give consent, just to
Exactly.
for those kind of people anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Because they think they're okay, but they don't think there's anything wrong with themselves. Even though they want to control and they want to hurt and they want to do stuff without permission. They want to hide, you know, their agendas. I am empowered. I feel my essential beauty. I choose to live freely on the planet. I choose to live my best life. And hold, 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 hold. Checking psychological reversal. Want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust. Beautiful. Checking chakras. Lovely. I think we are done. Let me ask, is the serum a good idea? Yeah. How many mils? Uh, 120. 130. Yeah, right. So about 2 cups each. Beautiful. Awesome.
The world.
Thank you, world. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. We both needed that. Hope you did too. Beautiful.